was crazy until they were right all along. I went to a report of a mentally disturbed person who called the police. They were right all along. Who was crazy until they were right all along. I went to a report of a mentally disturbed person who called the police, reporting that the devil called and told him to end people on the street and then end himself. I checked his previous police files, and he had a massive history of mental health issues. He was taken to the mental ward many times and was diagnosed with a form of paranoid schizoaffective disorder. Anyways, my partner and I show up and talk to the guy. He's sweating bullets, eyes darting around, trembling and totally terrified. He explains that for the last 6 years, the devil calls him nightly via telephone. And then when he calls for help, the police take him to the mental institute. He says the devil tells him to end people, then end himself, as we are about to call our mental health unit to come talk to him. The phone rings. My partner answers the phone at the guy's request. Guess what? Some freaking monster was using a voice changer and pranking this dude with mental health issues for years, pretending to be the devil. I can't tell you how surreal that moment was. The poor man's face changed, kind of like he's finally been vindicated and he knows it's not just in his head. So we investigated that pranker and eventually charged him. The guy who had called was so freaking happy. Who was crazy until they were...
My daughter picked the right guy. I'm at a loss for words right now due to the kind actions of my daughter's boyfriend. So I have an almost 14-year-old. She's been dating this guy, I'll call him Blake, since June-ish, but they've known each other since February. Now, I've never really met him much outside of me, like picking her up from places with him or dropping her off, but I got the impression that he was a good kid. Now I had my daughter's phone downstairs charging because her plug wasn't working, and she was watching a movie on her iPad, and Blake's name popped up asking if he could come over. I called out to my daughter, who said she doesn't mind, but her stomach kind of hurt due to her period. I texted him for her. He knew he was texting me, but I was just making sure the plans were working. I brought up in conversation my daughter was on her period. He said, okay, I might be a bit late then. I didn't question it and said, okay. An hour later, there's a knock at the door. It's Blake with chocolates, chips, juice, and a squishmallow for my daughter. I was extremely taken aback by his generous act and extremely thankful that his parents raised him to be the kind young man he is. My daughter picked the right guy. I'm at a loss for words right now due to the kind...
Top 3 saddest Minecraft deaths. Number 1. Top 3 saddest Minecraft deaths.
Hey, Dad.
What's up, son?
Do you know what vodka is made out of?
Why do you ask?
You drink it a lot.
Oh, it's made out of potatoes.
Oh, cool. And potatoes are vegetables, right?
Yeah, right.
So basically, if you drink vodka, you're actually just eating salad.
If you put it that way, yeah. Later that night.
In a controversial new bill that just passed, all 50 states
You are grounded this entire week.
Wow, slow down. I have prom next week.
Then you are not going.
But I have an important date. Please, Mom.
I don't care.
What am I supposed to tell my date? And my friends?
Not my problem. You should have considered that before.
Before what? I didn't